Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Why the Hell Not? We finally came up with a name.
That is lit.
And yeah, it kind of just came to us naturally out of nowhere. But Anthony, I have a question for you.
Oh, what's up?
Did you know that a tarantula spider can survive for more than 2 years without food?
A tarantula spider?
That's what it says.
2 years
2
without
years
food.
without any food.
I need that diet plan.
I know, seriously, right?
I'll be eating everything.
Okay, well, I think normally we'd have like an intro or something, but
Right.
we don't have an intro, so we're gonna just, we're just gonna go right over that. Anyway, I guess this is episode 2, right?
This is episode 2.
We are in the same room, right in front of each other.
It is lit.
We are in Tempe because, like I said, always looking for an excuse to get the hell out of Peoria and over to Tempe. But now we're in the same room. We found a different way to do audio, so it might sound great. It's going to sound a lot better than last week, I think, for sure.
For sure.
But obviously, I think there's going to be a little bit of an echo as we go through this, so we'll figure it out. We'll have to see. It's the first couple podcasts, I think, are going to be like experimental,
Right.
So we'll have to figure out as we go. I think maybe next week, if this doesn't work either, we'll have to do like what we talked about, where it's like we'll just be on the PlayStation party, but we'll record our voice memos as we go,
Right.
So that way, you just send it to me and whatever. We'll figure it out. This is only episode 2, and I think 6 people listened last week. So
Hey man, that's 6 more than anybody expected.
hey, maybe we'll go. Maybe we'll be up on the incline after this week. But we're sitting here watching the NBA draft right now. It's almost over. There's only 9 picks left. But at least we got some stuff on TV this week. Cardinals and Seahawks play tomorrow.
That's exciting.
You excited?
I'm a little worried.
I'm hyped. I'm ready.
Yeah, well,
I'm ready.
You haven't dropped 3 of your last 3 games. So.
That's also true. So if anybody doesn't know, I'm a Cardinals fan. He's a Seahawks fan. So in his lifetime, he's seen some Super Bowl victories. A Super Bowl
victory. I've seen Super Bowl appearances.
A Super Bowl victory. I've seen 1 Super Bowl appearance for the Cardinals. That was the one time I think I ever cried over a football game.
I'll be honest. I was upset that year.
Yeah, I'll never forget that game. I was about, what year was that? 2008?
2009.
2009. I was probably like 11 years old. Because I think I just turned 11.
Right.
That was the first time I ever remember crying over a sporting event. Was Super Bowl 43. The Cardinals lost to the Steelers. Tough times. But obviously I think I didn't really watch the Seahawks game last week. I didn't really catch much of it. I only saw a couple clips, but
I mean, you didn't really miss much.
Didn't miss much.
I mean, it really just comes down to the defense of everything. And you can't really be a team if you don't have a defense, and they're just not playing that great of a defensive ball game. So
hey, Cardinals had a nice little win the other day. I don't know if you saw it.
I don't know
if you heard or
I have been living here. No, I didn't hear about it all over the news. No, like I caught that last when I got your message, like, oh my God, D-Hop caught that. I went, what is he talking about? And then I went on ESPN's Instagram page, and they had shown it.
It was stupid because I texted one of my friends. I was like, "Hey, Christian Kirk, Hail Mary incoming." And I before I sent that text, I typed out DeAndre Hopkins, but in my head I was like, nah, he's their best receiver. Obvious, that's too obvious. It's gonna be somebody weird like Christian Kirk, like a third string receiver will come down.
I'm amazed you didn't say Isabella.
That would have been another one because he was on the field. He was right there. But no, I mean it was crazy, dude. I was at Wild Wings right here, and the whole restaurant went crazy. I mean, I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, there's 11 seconds left and we're losing, and this game's over, and then craziness ensued. So, a lot of fun. Probably the most fun victory I've seen, I'd say almost ever.
I don't know, that
as
year.
A football fan.
That year when what was it, Super Bowl 50 year, where they were playing the Packers.
Yeah, that's the only other one that comes
exciting.
close. I think when Larry Fitz caught that play in overtime, and ran 75 yards down the 5-yard line. Yeah, that was crazy.
And then they gave it to him to really seal the deal right at the end.
Yeah, and on that little pitch play. Yeah, that was the only one I think that maybe comes close.
Yeah,
but. That game-ending Hail Mary on top of 3 defenders, 3 of the best defenders in the NFL, just crazy. It was a lot of fun, and I think it's cool to be on that side of a game like that. You usually see those types of highlights and stuff, but it's obviously never your team. You're like, oh, that's crazy. But when it's your team that's winning the game like that, I can't imagine what it feels like when your team's losing the game like that, because that's...
I don't know. I only got to experience that once, and that was at 20-point comeback against the Packers in the NFC Championship game.
Oh yeah. With the
that
onside
went
kick
into,
and everything.
Yeah, and then went into overtime and just a deep ball to Curse.
Yeah.
Like that was the one thing like I witnessed, but I don't think I've ever actually witnessed there was the Fail Mary.
That is true. Yeah, but you guys won on that, didn't you?
Yeah, they gave it to us,
yeah.
but
See,
it's
that's
still, it was
crazy.
still kind of like that thing where it was like, technically they didn't really catch it, but yeah, no, definite big win for the Cards. Now they're
Huge.
sitting
We were about to
nice
go
at top at the NFC West.
We were about to be 5-4, but we flipped it around, made it 6-3. And then this week, I mean, like, you never know. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Honestly, who knows?
I don't know. All
Could
I
be
know is I'm gonna
anything.
be wearing my action green tomorrow.
I'll be wearing probably nothing. Absolutely not. I'm just kidding. I have some t-shirts that I can put on. I guess I'm looking in your closet as if it's mine. So I'm looking for something to wear. But we were just driving over here back from Wild Wings, and I've only not lived here for like a couple months. But dude, like when we turned left on Rural, and like that whatever that building is there now, the one that like where that old like beat down car shop used to be, right across the street from like where Gus's Pizza is.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, dude, when did that get there?
Dude, I don't know, dude. There was one day it was up, and the next thing you know it's being close to finish. I think it honestly went up. Oh man, right before we went like COVID lockdown 1.0.
Dude, I remember them building something there, but I feel like I haven't literally driven right past like that. It's huge already.
Oh, it's massive.
Like literally a year ago, it was like a broken down like old car shop, right?
Or just a dirt lot.
Yeah, and it's like you fast forward a year and like between that and the stuff right across the street now, that like 2 years ago it was literally just an open, empty dirt lot.
Oh, you're right.
There's-
Now that building too, right?
Dude, now there's like a parking garage, there's a building, there's a hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, bro, this, like, I've always talked about it with my mom. One of my cousins went here, I think he graduated in like 2012 from ASU. So like 8 years ago, dude, I want to bring him back here and just like set him on like one of these street corners and like just tell him to figure it out. Because, dude, I remember when he was in college, I went to a football game and I parked on the other side of the stadium where any of those buildings were there. Now there's a State Farm building. There's an identical building. I think it's Carvana, right? There's a Carvana logo on it.
The one that's on the other side of Rural.
Yeah. And then there's like there's a hotel. There's two hotels. There's an apartment building. There's other office buildings. Dude, like, but like less than like 10 years ago, it was literally just parking lots for football games.
Right.
And then even the football stadium, that whole facility was not there prior to like 5 years ago.
Which is actually funny. Like I actually, so for that SC game, right? Like, we're getting tested as much as we can. I never realized what the old locker room looked like until I went to go get tested because it was in the old locker room, and I went, "That's a big upgrade."
Wait, on the
south end,
like in the little building there.
Yeah, like,
that wasn't our old locker room. Our old locker room was on the other side.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the old one on the south end, not the visitor one, not the visiting one.
I'm sorry, my directions are. Sorry. I'm thinking north. Yeah, you're right. No, yeah, like when you go down the old Tillman Tunnel.
Right. Yeah. I never been in there. I never seen what it looks like until I walked in.
Have they done anything to it?
It's just sitting there.
I haven't been in there in like years because when I started working there, like when I was still at NAU,
right,
they were still building the new facility. So like my first year was the first year of that facility, but like when I went there a couple days to like I guess try out, it was still in the old locker room and like in the old equipment room. So it was like I'd been in there a couple times. Like that's where I think they just use stuff over there now for like all the other sports because there's still a weight room and stuff down there. And,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's still being used by like softball. No, softball has their own facility.
Yeah, like basketball has their own stuff too, but
it's used by some. I think probably like swim goes in there.
Wrestling and stuff like I think all the sports probably play out of the arena other than basketball.
Right.
But yeah, dude, like I mean. Like I said, I've only been gone for a couple months, and it's already just crazy. Oh, there you go. Cassius Winston to Oklahoma City. Sorry. Squirrel. No, but, I mean, it's crazy. Even just, dude, where that big, like, retirement home building is, like, right across the street from, like, where Union.
Right, yeah.
I used to park right there my first year working for football team. And that's where I parked on game days. Because we weren't allowed to park near the stadium yet.
Right.
We didn't get, like, parking passes for game days. So I had to park because, like, where my parking pass was, they gave you, like, alternate lots on Saturdays to park. Like, hey, if you need to come to campus, you can't park here because we're using it for football. You can park here. But, like, obviously, I was going to the game
Right.
and working there. So I had to park all the way there and like walk through campus a little bit to get to the stadium. And now there's an entire like high-rise building there in the parking lot where I used to park my car.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, and I was talking to, when I was at work yesterday, I was talking to these people, getting my customer service in.
Right.
I was talking to these people, and they were from like Wisconsin. They said they live really close to like UW Madison, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. They're like, yeah, we got like, I think they got like 50,000 people there now, and I was like, I feel like ASU like quadruples that number. Like every year at least. I mean, I don't know the real numbers, but like,
right.
And because I was thinking of all these buildings that are going up and stuff, and like, I know ASU just consistently raises their acceptance rates like crazy. Like they want people to come here, rightfully so.
Yeah,
but
you
like,
say that, but I was also one of the guys that got rejected on my first attempt.
That was like 4 years ago. So, technically, there's a lot of people that get rejected from ASU. I think. Well, probably not now, because I think now, I think now they literally let anybody in as long as you have above probably a 1.5 GPA in high school. They probably let you in.
I need a time machine because
they're money hungry. Obviously, as long as you're ready to pay them thousands and thousands of dollars to come to school here, they don't give a shit. They really don't. They don't care at all. I mean, look at how COVID's been handled. They literally just like told all the freshmen living on campus like, oh well, sucks to suck. Like other schools were talking about getting like refunding money or like paying back a certain amount of like their housing money towards their tuition or whatever.
Right.
And ASU was just kind of like, oh well, sorry, not our fault that COVID happened. It's like, it's not my fault either. Like.
Yeah.
Like I paid in January when I was still a high school senior, I paid so that I could be on campus and live here in August and start college. Not, it's crazy. I mean, obviously everybody's dealing with that right now. I'm trying so hard to stay off the topic of COVID, but it literally runs our lives, so it sneaks in.
It sneaks in every now and then.
Yeah,
no, I feel that. But no, I mean in general though, I mean it's like I won't bash on the school completely. I mean I still enjoy everything that we do get.
I love ASU.
It's probably, if I did recommend like a college, if you wanted to really enjoy a college lifestyle and you weren't focusing so much on like your sports teams constantly winning national championships, I would definitely say come to Arizona State if you're going to be coming to Arizona. Now, that's a
You're gonna come to Arizona. Don't go anywhere other than Tempe for college, because I don't know why you want to go all the way down to northern Mexico. Yeah, Tucson, whatever.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, I enjoy the school, but I mean, really, when it comes down to it, you're right though. Everything is it's constantly growing, and I read like an article I think last year or earlier this year. Like Arizona State, if you really look at all the properties it owns, like all the campuses, it's like the second largest university.
It's huge. We have like, there's downtown, there's west, there's Polytechnic, there's one in Tucson, isn't there? Is there a campus in Tucson now? Probably. Yeah, obviously Tempe's the big one, but like there's one in, is it Lake Havasu? There's a Lake Havasu campus too or something?
Maybe. I know that they were opening something.
Yeah, there's another one like way out. Dude, right. Like, yeah, you're right. They have like 5 or 6 different campuses around Arizona. And it's just like...
Right, and I think the only school that beats them was Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State's the largest university, like,
yeah,
ground area. But yeah, no, so I mean, it's constantly changing here, and definitely insane, man.
Yeah, it just gets crazier and crazier. I feel like even if I come here only like 2 weeks apart, it's like I almost like don't recognize it.
I mean, I still get lost. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not surprised, man. It's there's a lot of shit over here. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I was driving down what's it called the other day? I was driving down Mill, and like I still blows my mind that it's been like 2.5 years now. They're still building that stupid streetcar thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when they're expecting to finish that, if they're ever going to finish that.
It here, bro. It's getting a pain,
dude. I mean, it's literally been like 2 years, man.
It's too much, man.
They're creating the streetcar thing that I don't know where it's supposed to start or end, or if it's just one big circle. All I know is that it starts somewhere like right here, right? Like right over here on like Apache.
Yeah, I think
it starts like over here and it goes all the way around across Mill Avenue, which if anybody's not from here, Mill Avenue is like our party central. It's like where all the clubs and the bars are. It's where everybody goes and hangs out during the weekends. Pre-COVID, you go out on like a Friday or Saturday, all the clubs are open till 2 a.m. It's a lot of fun. But they built like a streetcar, which I'm assuming to like help combat like drinking and driving. And then obviously also probably get an extra dime out of students, and maybe they don't have to use Uber as much anymore. But like it goes all the way around through Mill Avenue, and then it goes all the way down the street. Then it makes a right-hand turn on another street, which leads right up to where our football stadium is. And that's where they've left off right now. They're like right where the football stadium is. And I can't tell if they're literally just going to go like all the way up Rio Salado to where like Tempe Marketplace is, and they're going to come like all the way back around and then attach it to Apache that way. Like, I don't know, but literally they've been building it for like 2.5, 3 years.
All I know is they need to kind of figure it out because one, the traffic's absurd and how to get here, but two, there's not really that much kind of road to work with.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that they definitely did not account for when they were building all these new buildings. And I mean, they said, hey, we're going to build these high-rise apartments and put thousands of more people here, but we're not going to do anything to expand the streets. We're going to add another probably couple thousand cars of people trying to get to and from classes and work and everything, but we're not going to add any more lanes. We're not going to, we're going to add more stoplights. It's like rush hour traffic in like around campus is horrible. Like I would park at the stadium to my apartment, which is literally like on a map a mile, 1.0 miles. If I were to walk, I probably would be home faster. It would literally take me 45 minutes to get from the parking lot to my apartment, which is 1 mile, because there's 2-3 stop signs before you get to 4 or 5 different. It's just crazy.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, for me, it was a lot of walking as well for me. I mean,
yeah.
We both lived at Gateway, dude. I was doing, I think, like a 1.5 mile walk each Tuesday and Thursday or whenever I'd go to campus. And so it's like doing that every day. I mean, it was great for exercise, I won't lie. But
yeah, but then when it's 115 outside, it's not that fun.
No, the worst thing was when it was pouring one day. Like
that too.
I was just walking in the rain, like not ready for it.
Walking and like all that stuff here is just it's so like unpredictable, obviously, because you either could have a 115-degree day or it's gonna rain, or like if you just use that as your transportation method, it's gonna be weird. What are you laughing about? What happened?
The fact that I don't know when it stopped, but it stopped for me.
Nice.
12 minutes.
Okay, well, start it up again, and we'll have to figure it out.
All right, well, now I'm back. So
hey, it's week 2. We're still figuring it out.
That was confusing.
So I guess for the first, how long ago did you stop recording?
At 12:33.
It went 12 minutes?
12 minutes and 30
seconds. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. So for the last 5 minutes, if he sounded pretty difficult to hear, I guess deal with it. I don't know. That's maybe we'll go back and make them re-record everything. I don't know. But hey, there was a 5-minute break there, but I'm still at 18.5 minutes, 18:15. So
I just wonder why it ended.
I don't know. Maybe you have like a maximum amount you're allowed to go or something.
No, that was weird.
It's a
new phone. I got the space for it.
I just looked at my phone and I see on here one of my voice recordings is a finance review for 42 minutes. That in like one of my classes last year, I literally just hit record, put the phone down on the desk for the whole class period.
And you fell asleep?
I don't think I fell asleep, but I was like, I think what I thought was like, oh, if I want to go back and listen to it, like rehear anything she said, I never used it. I definitely never used it. But hey, at least the thought was there. At least I tried. But I mean, hey, we're watching the NBA draft. Like I said, I mean, we were watching it earlier at Buffalo Wild Wings, watching most of the first round. We watched all of the first round there. Then we came back here to do the podcast for the second round. But with basketball as the topic, obviously some crazy shit went down in basketball this year, especially as Phoenix Suns fans.
That is true.
The Phoenix Suns traded for Chris Paul, which Chris Paul is pretty much already a solidified NBA Hall of Famer when his career is done. Right. I think he's one of the best point guards that's ever played in the NBA. He's like 100%. Right. At the very least, a top 5 point guard to ever play the game. Yeah. And it's not purely based on skill. It's a lot of, his knowledge of the game and stuff. Like I think that's why for the Suns it's going to work out so well, because him being out there is literally like having a coach on the floor, and he's a pretty good basketball player, and he does a lot of things well. But getting on the topic of like the Suns from last year, we obviously saw they went like 8-0 in the bubble, and they had a really good post-COVID lockdown little stint there. They almost made the playoffs. It came down to one last-second Brooklyn Nets shot that didn't go in, and if it did go in, the Suns would have made the playoffs, but it didn't go in. So the Suns, for the 10th straight season, missed the playoffs. I think I was probably, how old am I now? 23? I was probably
23.
12 or 13 the last time the Suns went to the playoffs. So I went through all of high school.
Was that the year when Kobe drained that shot? I feel like that must have been the last time.
Oh, no, that was a little while
you sure?
ago. Yeah, I know. That dude, he was still number 8 when he hit that shot. I think you're talking about.
I thought he was 24. Oh, no, he was 8. No,
Yeah.
he was 24.
No, but I don't think I don't think that was the last time that we were in it. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't think that was the last time we were in it. I think that was probably like
maybe
08,
he was
09. But like I went all through high school, all through college. My basketball team never made the playoffs. Not even made the playoffs. And then you got Golden State fans over here who won 3 championships, went to 5 straight finals. And they screw you, dude. I didn't even see one playoff game in 10 years. You went to 5 straight NBA finals? Get out of here. But yeah, anyway, I think with the Suns getting Chris Paul, I think it pretty much solidifies them going to the playoffs this year. I see a lot of people still kind of doubting that, which I think is ridiculous.
Right.
I think a lot of people don't understand, and obviously you don't in basketball. It's an 82-game season. If you don't watch teams play, you don't really get the full gist of what they do. The Suns won like 34 games last year, which is the most wins they've had in a season probably in like 6 or 7 years. I think probably since like 2014.
Right.
But I think what people don't realize is that our starting center, DeAndre Ayton, was out for 25 games because he was an idiot and got caught using PEDs, which, is a
Must have
story.
came from that Nike deal.
Yeah, it's a story in and of itself. And then our point guard got hurt. Ricky Rubio got hurt for a couple weeks. Kelly Oubre, I forget what he something with his meniscus. I think he tore his meniscus in like the beginning of February.
Right.
So he missed the last 2 months of the season before COVID, and then missed the entire bubble, the last 8 games of the bubble. We had so many injury problems last year that like we never had our full squad on the floor, but when we did, like we looked really good. And a lot of the games, and I think for the first time last year, I was thinking about this the other day, I think the last season was the first time that the Suns probably were in just about every single game they played. Again, I don't know their entire schedule off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there might have been a couple games that they like just got blown out. But in recent years, the Suns were literally losing games like 40 or 50 points, like multiple games. Like this year, it was every single game they lost was a couple possession games. Like as soon as we didn't make the playoffs, I immediately went back to the Utah game that we lost by like 1 possession because of some, I forget exactly what happened, but there was some officiating problem towards the end of the game. They didn't call a foul, or they did call a foul, or whatever the case was. It was so stupid. We should have won that game.
Right.
So of course, when you get to the end of the year and you miss the playoffs by 1 game, you're like, that sucks a lot, because I remember that game specifically where we should have won, but we got screwed over. We didn't. And at the time, when it's game like 30, you're like, that whatever. But you get to the end of the season, it pays dividends. Is what I'm trying to say.
Dividends. Yeah. No, I get that, and it'll be exciting to watch. Hopefully now, the Suns can now pop up on the map for the Western Conference and kind of just really kind of rep it for once, because it was for a time where that whole Steve Nash, Marty Stoudemire time where it was a winning team.
It was awesome.
It was a great time. That the only thing that was stopping them was literally Kobe Bryant or the Spurs.
Tim Duncan, yeah.
That was
it every year.
It was no other Western Conference team. To anyone who was a Golden State fan, Steph Curry wasn't playing at the time. There was Richardson, but again,
Baron Davis.
Yeah, but again, like there was only issue for the Suns to ever get as close as they could to the finals was either a Kobe Bryant shot,
freaking Kobe,
or a Tim Duncan layup. It was one of those.
I remember the year we went to the Western Conference Finals and lost to the Lakers in 6. I think it was 2010, maybe? No, 2010, 2000, whatever year they beat the Celtics.
2010.
Wait, did they beat there was those 2 years, right, where the Celtics won and then the Lakers won?
Yeah, it was 2010.
Okay,
they got the revenge. Because I think 09 was the Lakers or the Celtics.
Yeah.
10 was Kobe.
Whichever. Honestly, it might have been either one of those years, but the Suns lost.
No, I'm pretty sure it was
finals.
2010. 2010, I think, was LA.
Makes sense, because that was the last time we went to the playoffs. So it wouldn't be surprising if we went out in grand old fashion, lost in 6 games in the conference finals, and then 10 years later still haven't made it back.
Right.
But, yeah, no, it finally feels good to be a Suns fan, Like, it finally feels like people realize how good they're actually going to be next year. And obviously, Chris Paul, what he did in Oklahoma City this year, that team had no business being in the playoffs at all. But he did wonders there and made that team a playoff team. The Suns, I think, in my mind, no doubt, have a better roster than Oklahoma City does. They have a deeper team. Mm-hmm. They have more star power. Like the Thunder don't have a Devin Booker. The closest thing they have is like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but
Probably.
he's not on Devin Booker's level,
Yeah.
And same thing, like Steven Adams and DeAndre Ayton are two different players. And I think DeAndre Ayton has way more like superstar potential than Adams does. And so I think
And
the Suns,
it's that kind of like that young core who showed like they have
exactly
the talent to play.
But we just traded one of them, so Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, but we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
Because that's a mixed feeling kind of.
I'm still hurt over that. It's gonna take a while, but
Yeah.
I think once we make the playoffs next year, I think I'll be a little.
Hey, I mean, who knows? It could be written in stars. So think about it: new stadium, an all-star Hall of Famer now.
Well, I'll
joining
be coming back after Corona.
after whatever it.
I can't
turns
wait
out
to get
be.
to the new stadium. I mean, not the new stadium. It's the same stadium, but renovated. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of
I'm
fun.
just waiting for the news of the D-backs throwing a fit.
Yeah, it'll happen. For sure, it'll happen. I don't know what their stadium's like. What is it? 30 years now? 30 years old? No, 20.
bro,
I'm an idiot.
98,
Yeah,
bro.
20. I can't do math. 20 years.
That thing's only a year younger than me.
Yeah, 20 years old, and they're like, well, we need a new stadium. No, you don't.
No.
Maybe win a little bit first, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah,
but then I say that, and then the Suns are getting renovations, and
Yeah, but
they haven't
again,
won
but
anything.
like the Suns were like at a time were winning. I
Yeah,
think the D-backs best record for once came back in like when they were that red and black new renovated.
I think because the Suns are literally like Phoenix's first love. Like they were Phoenix's first team.
Right.
Like the Cardinals didn't come till later. The D-backs are brand new. They're only 20 years old, right? It was in 98 when their first year.
Yeah, 98 was their first year.
1998, and then same thing with the Coyotes. Like 96 was their first year.
Yeah.
So like it's only been like a little over 20 years that we've had some of the other teams, but the Suns have been here since like the 60s or 70s, right? Yeah,
we
like,
celebrated the 50, I think, like 2 years ago.
yeah. So like it's been, the Suns are Phoenix's baby, and that's why I think them being good again would be really good for the city, because it's the one team I think in Arizona that there are a lot of fans of. Like, I mean, everybody here in all their sports is transplants, like you're a Dodgers fan, right?
Right.
There are so many Dodgers fans here because growing up in the 80s and 90s, there was no Arizona baseball team. The closest team was the Dodgers. So everybody liked the Dodgers that lived here. Same thing with like the Cowboys. Like the Cardinals were here a little earlier than, the late 90s, but people growing up or their parents growing up, the closest team we had was the Dallas Cowboys, so everybody's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Or the Oilers.
Yeah, same thing.
But then again, you're not bumping into Tennessee Titan fans.
Exactly, because they're not good. That's why. I mean, the Cowboys aren't good either, but
Yeah, but you get to say you're a Cowboys fan.
yeah, it's stupid.
But so I mean, yeah, it's pure excitement to see what's going to happen. Definitely, they don't really have the odds against them, but they definitely have a lot of people eager to watch what they can do.
Especially with Houston possibly about to explode, possibly trading Russell Westbrook and James Harden. That might get interesting, and that's one less team we got to worry about, I guess. But
It really just comes down to that man with the plan gets new jerseys wherever he goes.
LeBron James,
Wherever he
baby.
stands, baby. LeBron James.
New jerseys wherever he goes. that is true.
But yeah, no, super exciting to see, and yeah, and I mean, plus basketball's starting right back up.
December 22nd, I think.
Yeah, so
A
I mean,
little over a month.
everything is just jumping right back into it.
I mean, obviously it's 2020. Everything's weird, so
No, that's true.
not surprising. Yeah, I guess another thing we could talk about is Call of Duty, right?
We can.
Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty game just came out last week. We've spent a little bit of time playing it. Last night was our real first night playing together. We played zombies for the first time. That was cool. That honestly, it felt good last night playing zombies. Like it felt very reminiscent. You know what I mean?
It really did.
It felt amazing. Like it felt like we weren't playing like these crap Call of Duties that have been the last couple of years. Like it literally felt like we were back in like 2013, 2014, just late night zombie runs with the boys.
Right,
That's what it felt like. It felt really cool, even though it was only two of us. And I think we might have went farther if there was more than two of us. But I mean, overall, I think the game's a lot of fun. It's definitely agitating, very agitating. Like I said, you gotta like snort lines of energy powder to be good at the game apparently, but
These kids are busting out ketamine.
oh my god, dude, it's crazy. The main thing, like, I mean, I guess for anybody who listens, is like, you know, video games when we were a lot younger, you know, were fun, and they were like, you could just after school go home, tell your friends, hey, we're gonna play Call of Duty today, and you get on and play Call of Duty, and you can very casually for a couple hours play Call of Duty. You could screw around, you can try, you could whatever, and it's going to be fun. Nowadays, everybody treats it like they're trying to win $1 million tournament in a public match. Right. And it's like, so if you slack off, even in the slightest, you're not having a good time. Like, you have to try so hard now to be, like, okay at the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's crazy. Like, kids, as I run into these people, I can see them in my head. Like, it's just a random kid, probably 12 years old, sitting in a room with these lights up on the wall that you got. I mean, everybody's got these lights now, but this kid's probably 12 years old. His mom bought him these lights off Amazon. He's got the red lights on. He's got his PC that he built up with his headphones on, probably his Astros. He's sitting in his gaming chair. He's got, you know, a SCUF controller with the paddles on the back, and he's got his little monitor with a 1 millisecond response time. He's got his G Fuel cup right there ready to go. He's got the tub in case he runs out. All to go into a 5-minute public match team deathmatch game. It's like, dude, calm down. Like, I think I was talking to you the other night before you were playing it, and it was like 1:30 in the morning, and I got some kid just like looking like he's literally on the main stage of a championship tournament. Like, dude, it is 1:30 in the morning. Calm down, please. Like, you need to relax. Go to bed. Take a little bit. Like, if it is 1:30 in the morning and you're still trying this hard, man, you need to take a break from the game. Like, we need to relax.
And I think that's where just the humor comes out of all of it, because at the same time we could be sitting here like saying all this and then really look at it and it's just probably just us getting older and we're and it's us reminiscing on like the back in my days we used to play video games, but like I mean honestly, but it's also the rise in Twitch, and everyone wants to be a Twitch gamer, because now it's like, because think about it, growing up for us, it was, we didn't want to be a professional gamer, we want to be a professional athlete. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
and it's the other way around.
On top
now.
of that, you'd see the money that comes out of professional athletes. Now you see people, they get to stare at a computer screen and play games all day and get paid for it. Like,
yeah.
Some people are like, that's a better lifestyle sometime. And I'm not bashing on anyone that's a gamer. I mean, dude, sometimes I think like, damn, I wish I was that good.
Yeah.
I wish sometimes I can, instead of having to go get a piece of paper that says, congrats, Anthony, you're smart enough to be out of undergraduate school. Like, if I could just stare at a TV screen and
people are entertained by
like,
you just sitting there playing video games.
I'll definitely do that. But I also do think it's probably just us, and now in this day and age, it's like me and you. We like to. It's not so much like casual game, but we like to at least enjoy the game. Like, I'm not joining into a game just to like run around and get shot from every direction or lose every sports game I jump into. Like, that's no fun.
Yeah.
But like, I'm also not the guy that's like, I need to win every game I hop into.
Yeah.
You know, and
dude, like I said, I think something that I've seen is like, I have two of my cousins. One turns 11 in January, and then one of them turned 8 in May. And so 11 and 8, like the same age as my brother and I, like with the same age distance. When I was 11, bro, like, we were going outside and playing basketball with our friends, or we were riding our bikes around the neighborhood, or we were,
doing football at the park.
Yeah, football at the park and like stuff like that. Like, my cousins are playing Fortnite. And I mean, obviously right now, like, because of COVID, like,
it makes sense. But
it makes sense. But like, this is before Corona even happened. Like, they that's their thing. Like, they play Fortnite. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, they still, obviously, they get their activity. Like, they play hockey and basketball and baseball. They play all their sports too. But like, when I'm at home, when I get home from school, or like on the weekends, like, the go-to activity for us was always like, go play football, go outside to play basketball, ride your bikes around the neighborhood, do any of that crap. Like, they're just stupid kid shit. But like, now it's like, I'm gonna play Fortnite. And I mean,
dude, I used to lie to like my parents, say, "Oh, I'm doing homework," to go outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I feel like nowadays it's like they say, "Oh yeah, I did it," to hop on their console.
Exactly. And I never had an iPad when I was younger. You know, like, there's so many kids nowadays that have like iPads and iPhones and iPods. Dude, I
got jealous of someone that had an iPod, like that first generation freaking dial one.
Same, like, dude. We were literally like the last generation of people, and we're still privileged because like we're still kind of growing up right now in this age. But we were the last like group of kids that actually had that real genuine childhood. Like,
Right.
you know, there was
wake
no
up early for some
iPhones.
cartoons.
Yeah, there was no like iPhones when we were younger. Like, I grew up watching SpongeBob SquarePants and
Dude, hells yeah.
and
Dude,
like
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
yes, and Johnny Bravo,
Dude, or
yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory,
yes,
bro.
all the Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah.
Like Fairly Odd Parents was my shit. Like
It was. That was pretty
we
good.
grew up watching those things, and now like you got. I guess that's another point too. Is that we grew up watching those cartoons. These kids nowadays grow up watching these YouTubers and these Twitch streamers, watching Tim the Tatman videos.
Right.
Like, it's crazy, man. Like I think like stuff like that, like streamers and even things like social media are both like the best thing and the worst thing to ever happen to like the world.
Yeah.
Because it like obviously it means that technology is advancing and times are changing, but it also makes things worse. And you know, like I said, well, from the Call of Duty example, when in 2012, that was the very like I remember as far back as I can remember when things were last really normal was like Black Ops 2, which was like it released in 2012, but it was the year of 2013.
Right.
And that was going into my sophomore year of high school, or our sophomore year of high school.
I think it was about
yeah.
sophomore
So we were like, you know, back then I remember there were some people that would stream video games, but there wasn't a lot of people. It was mainly the people that were streaming were like the professional Call of Duty players, like the people who did it for a living and were getting paid through tournaments and stuff. But you know, now it's literally like anybody can just pick up the controller, you know, stream for a certain amount of people, whether they're fun to watch, whether they're good at the game, whether they're funny, whether they're absolutely terrible but they crack jokes, like whatever it is that lures people in, everybody tries to do it now. And anybody can do it, you know? You don't have to be a specific type of person or player to do it anymore. So, you know, that's why I think it's a lot different now, but no, I think that's the one that hits me the most. Is like, you know, we grew up watching cartoons and stuff,
Right.
And
Or
kids
just, or
nowadays,
just wanting to go out, dude. Like,
Yeah.
hop on a bike, bro. Like,
did we used to go to the dances?
yeah,
the
Rio,
Vista
bro,
dances?
dude. That was
See,
fun.
like,
yeah, but then,
kids aren't doing that
then you know
nowadays.
your boy had to come in and flex on all the kids and throw my own little
yeah,
party
exactly.
on my
And throw your
birthday.
own birthday parties every year at your house with the fog machine,
Dude, and the good
And
music. Bro.
and because your birthday's like what, a week and a half before Christmas.
It's about a week.
About a week before Christmas, your Christmas tree was always up, and I feel like every year somebody would always knock at least a couple ornaments out of the tree. I remember,
yeah, for sure.
I can't tell you how many times I remember your parents walking in and having to clean glass up off before somebody kicked an ornament off the tree.
Hey, bro, but it made it lit. That's all that matters.
That is true. Dude, remember the time afterwards, like a bunch of us spent the night at your house. We all watched like Paranormal Activity for the first time.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget. I don't know why I remember this. Remember Eric, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I remember like one of his like cousins stayed over. Or was it your cousin?
Oh, no, yeah, it was a family friend.
It was one of your family friends. And like we were watching Paranormal Activity, and like if you've ever seen, it was the first one, I think. If
Yeah,
you've ever
it
seen
was
the
the
first
first
Paranormal
one.
Activity, like obviously it's a scary movie. It's basically the premise is like these people have all these paranormal encounters in their house, so they roll like their home videos to like try and catch all the shit happening. So there's one scene, like one of the beginning scenes, like the first like scary moment is like they're just like laying in bed, they hear sounds, they like look up, and all of a sudden the door just slams shut, like by a ghost or whatever.
Right.
And I remember the kid starts screaming his head off, like crying, losing his mind, and all of us are sitting there like, dude, we know he shouldn't lie. Like again, we're probably like 11 or 12 at the time, you know, like
Yeah.
But we're like, oh, we shouldn't let the little kid in. We shouldn't let him. Like he can't handle it.
Right.
And then I'll never forget later in the movie when one of the, I think it was the girl in the movie, gets like dragged
dragged
down
down
the
the
bed
stairs,
and
yeah.
dragged down the stairs. The kid, the same kid who cried at the door slamming, starts laughing at the TV when the girl's getting dragged down the stairs. I was so confused. Like this kid's crying and screaming at a slammed door, but he's watching some girl get, you know, dragged across the floor by
By a
a quote unquote
demon.
demon, and he's laughing his ass off. I was like, what is going on, dude? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the end, like don't get me wrong, the kid's a good guy. The kid, he was super cool. He had a rough upbringing, you know.
Yeah.
I know his whole story and everything, and
It was just a funny moment. I got
yeah,
nothing
it was
against the guy, but-
definitely just
Nothing
it
against
was
the kid.
odd. But
It
I
was
do remember
funny.
that time. John Henry, remember he was like tapping behind the couch.
Oh yes,
Dude,
yeah,
I
yeah,
totally
yeah.
fell for that. I thought that was like
You
something
were
going on. I
freaking
booked
out.
it, bro. I booked it out the room.
The
man.
funny part was because I was sitting right next to him, so he kept nudging me, and he was like, he'd be like, watch this, and he'd put his arm like this behind his back, and he'd just tap the couch like boom, 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 and you were like, what is that? And you like turned around, and you're like, dude, what is that? We were all like, I don't know, man, I don't know. And then like he did it again, and yeah, I remember you one time you just dipped, you ran right out the room. I think you ran outside of your parents. So you were like, I'm not, no,
I ain't going
laying
again.
out. Oh my god, dude, we really were like 11 or 12 when that was happening.
Dude, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, like, dude, the 11 or 12 years, man, they were kind of a trip. I mean,
Dude, how crazy is that? That was like half of our lifetime ago. Think about that. Like, you cut our lifetime in half right now. That's where we were. It was like 11 or 12. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I feel like one of these podcast episodes, we're literally just gonna have to go down a memory lane. Like the whole episode, we're literally just gonna have to spend there just thinking about all the times we had when we were in elementary school, between like going to the park after school, playing football, and like, remember we played tackle football with no pads. I was always so scared to play tackle football and like organized with helmet and pads because I thought I was gonna like break a leg or something. But no, after school when we would go to the park and play tackle football with no pads, no helmets, nothing, I was all down for it. I was ready to go.
Hey, bro. Hey, man. Just saying. That Desert Harbor Oasis area, bro, we built different, man. We built different.
Bro,
Ice in the veins.
Kids today could never do that. Because somebody would get hurt and somebody's family would sue the other, or, you know, Karen's kid would get hurt and then she'd blow a gasket and probably sue the whole neighborhood or something. You never know.
Dude, I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a point where I just went up to go hit the ball, man, and I, like, my hip hit someone else's hip at the same time. I got the wind knocked out of me, bro.
Hey, there were a couple
Dude,
bloody noses.
But that was the thing. We called timeout. I got my breath back and we just keep going.
Yeah, there were a couple, you know, bloody noses and
there were
pretty big bruises or
but
concussions probably, honestly. Like, there were a couple kids probably smacked their head on the ground, like,
right, yeah,
100%.
No, but that would definitely be one of, like, the best episodes, because, dude,
yeah,
that time of growing up, I to this day think, like, if we all went to, like, really all went to the same school together, like, that clique of athletes, or even some of us who weren't super athletic, like, we played the way we were playing, dude, I honestly think, dude, like, state champs and shit, bro. Like,
yeah, honestly,
don't get me started, bro.
That would have been fun. Yeah, no, I think that episode would be really cool. We have a lot of. We went to the same elementary school for like 3 years, and I feel like we have so many different stories.
I know, that was just 3 years.
Dude, I'm thinking of some right now as we do. Maybe we could do that next week or next week. I don't even know when we're gonna. I don't know if we're gonna do it every week, or we might do episodes every 2 days at this point. I don't know. Like,
at this point,
I feel like the more you get out once we start, like as we started doing this, I think like the more episodes we put out, the more people have to listen to. Right. And, you know, especially these couple weeks where we're trying to figure out how we want to do it. If, like, you know, we let last week's episode marinate for like a whole week and somebody listens to that and hears like our shitty audio quality and they're like, dude, these guys suck. But if we put out like 5-6 episodes before anybody starts really listening, and like by episode 3 or 4 we know exactly what we're doing, we sound a lot better. They're like, oh, okay, like, right, there's a lot to listen to.
Yeah, it's a lot of experimenting right now.
Yeah, 100%.
But definitely, dude, I mean, this is definitely fun though.
Yeah, it's so stupid. We're literally just sitting here for 43 minutes as of right now. Just
it's longer than the last one.
Yeah, just like talking about random shit. I love it.
Right.
Like I said, I'm always looking for an excuse to come back here. Right. So
hey, well, I mean, you know, just an FYI, dude. If you ever really wanted to go like live, remember, dude. I don't get paid by that app.
We might start doing that too. I feel like we should just start doing that too, like when we're playing video games or something.
Because
what's the app called? Like
Stereo.
Stereo is like some explain it. I don't know.
All right, so Stereo. No, I'm kidding. Like, I'm getting paid.
Hashtag ad.
No, so basically, it's an app where if you wanted a podcast, but rather than recording it and uploading it and it going to Spotify and everything else, it's almost like running your live radio show. People can tune in, listen in live, and even ask questions live. And there'll be actual like voice message questions, not so much like a text message where, let's say you become super popular on the app, people are blowing up and your question doesn't get asked. It's actually you speak into the mic, it'll pop up during the conversation that you and I are having. We answer that live. And I feel like if we ever go this long, it's definitely an app that we should check out. Yeah. You should check out too, you know, use my promo code. No, I'm kidding.
Nice. Use our promo code David for $20 off your first purchase.
For 20% off.
This video is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing app. I was expecting it's literally the easiest way possible.
They've helped me buy all my friends' cars.
Dude, if I could switch lives with one person for one day, it'd be David Dobrik by a mile. It's not even close, dude. The amount of supermodels that guy turns down and the amount of fancy cars that he's able to buy, I would love to be him for a day. Just give me 24 hours as him.
Hey, bro. Hey, you can be David. Hey, you can be David, bro. I'll go ahead and just be like Ilya or some shit.
Yeah, that's fine with me, bro. Hey, Ilya lives in his house too.
That's
man.
what I'm saying, bro. I'll chill.
No, bro. That's like That would be crazy. That'd be a lot of fun. I can't even imagine having that much money. It would be crazy.
Yeah,
But in a pre-COVID world, oh look, it's the Hail Mary again. Sorry, the Hail Murray is what
The
they're
Hail
calling
Murray.
it. The Hail Murray. All right, but I think that's probably a good place to end it. It's been 45 minutes so far.
Right,
So,
so-
is your recording still going now?
yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
But yeah,
So there's gonna be like a 5-minute period where your audio is gonna be funky.
a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah.
It hasn't stopped since then, right?
No, we're going.
Okay.
I'm on 27
Okay, good.
now.
Yeah. Well, so I get the beginning of the episode I thought was kind of funny, but I want to try to do that every episode where just give I know we talked about it the other day, but just giving
fun
us
fact.
a random stupid fact, because I feel like one of the best ways to lure people in is stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? Hey, did you know that? Like, just it's so stupid and it's like so probably unfunny that it's funny. You know what I mean? So
Very much true. And, we can always end it with an ad like, this podcast brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
that's also true. Yeah. if Raid Shadow Legends wants to pay us, then I mean I'm down.
We'll be down, man.
Maybe we'll get there. You never know, man.
Oh,
You never
man.
know.
You always got to stay optimistic, right?
Exactly, dude. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's about the beginning of the podcast. About our name.
Yeah.
so literally right after we recorded the first one, we were talking over PlayStation, and we're like, dude, we got to think of a name because I'm trying to post it, and you got to like come up with a name. Like, dude, we got to think of a name. We got to think of a name. And my mom comes in. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, me and Anthony just recorded a podcast because why the hell not? and then as I'm talking to my mom, I hear Anthony. He's like, "Dude, that's the name right there." So we thought it was funny, and we called it "Why the Hell Not." So we're gonna come stronger with intros as the weeks go by, but that's the podcast name for now. Why the hell not? Because that's how we feel about this podcast. Why the hell not do it?
Right.
And I mean, just for fun. Maybe people get an enjoyment out of it. Maybe they don't. Hey, if they don't, we still have X amount of podcasts in another 5 years we can look back on and probably laugh at and
Right.
remember the
And-
shitty
and
times that
guess
are
what?
2020.
And guess what? You know what I can tell these people that want to listen or don't want to listen? Why
Why the hell not? All right, bro. Well, you got anything else to say? Or what?
No,
That's
man.
a pretty good spot
I
to
think I'm
end.
good. I think that's a wrap on episode 2.
Yep. So, like I said, we're in the same room this week. Hopefully, we can probably do it this way for good. We'll see how this one turns out. But yeah, I mean, I guess until next time, whether that's 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, a year, I don't know when that'll be. But whenever the next one is, I guess tune in. Obviously, it's now on Spotify as well, which is crazy. I mean, I guess it's really not that hard, but it's on Anchor, it's on Spotify. And I posted on YouTube the first one, so
So we're on 3. We're on 3
yeah,
platforms.
YouTube as well. This is pretty bad. I don't remember the YouTube link, but
I think it's literally because why the hell not?
probably I don't know. Next week I'll make sure to put the YouTube, or I'll clarify what the YouTube channel is as well. So there's a couple of different ways to listen, but all right, well that's it I guess for this episode of
Why the hell not?
I'm Tyler and
I'm Anthony.
we will see you guys next episode. Peace out.
Doses.